the Devil's Backbone, White Lightning Road, and the Snake Tower. Jasper twisted the wheel of his father's old pickup, headlights knifing through ghostly fog stretched across White Lightning Road. Tasha rode next to him, boot-tapping time on the dash, and listened as Jasper spun the old tales the highway was known for. White Lightning Road, Louisiana 146, was legendary. Convict bootleggers carved the twisting, dipping lane out of the hills by hand, their shovels swinging while lawmen kept watch for their next moonshine shipment. Every curve bore secrets: gunfights, barrel chases, double crosses. The Ramsey-Tuggle feud left more bodies than the Hatfields and McCoys ever did, and sometimes after hard storms, locals claimed you could hear lanterns swaying in the pines as ghosts retraced their old whiskey runs. "My granddad told me how his brother nearly got shot on this stretch," Jasper said, slowing down for a sharp S-curve. Revenuer was chasing them after sundown, but the tires couldn't grip in the fog. Ended up in the ditch, both missing for 2 days before crawling back home. Tasha smirked. "My uncle found a buried still out here in the 70s, she said. The top was busted open, old barrels, rusted out, but there was a small metal lockbox. He said it had nothing but a pair of dice and a list of names, some crossed off, some never found." The hills closed around them, branches scraping at the truck. Jasper pointed out a flat stretch by a thicket of hornbeam. "Sheriff Aycock used to wait here in the old days. He'd park under the biggest oak, lights out. First sign of a truck with too much bounce or a driver not right, and folks would vanish. Some said they got disappeared for crossing the wrong boss. Last time folks raided these woods, they found bottles with names etched in glass," Tasha said. "Rumor is some bootleggers wrote curses on the bottles, so if a rival tried to sell them, they'd have bad luck." As the road dove deeper, the legend grew heavier. Jasper steered through a near-blind curve, feeling every mile of tension in his knuckles. And then came the snake story. Some nights, the bootleggers figured out ways to send signals further down White Lightning Road. This one steel tower off a dirt track got its own legend, a snake as big around as a truck tire. Storms came, the steel would shake, and rumors said it was the snake, trapped during a chase, still rattling for freedom. Tasha fought a nervous grin. Sounds like a moonshiner's excuse for every bad break? The truck's beams illuminated the old tower ahead, rust streaking down girders, the whole thing shimmering faintly in the wind. Tasha snapped a picture, catching the ripple of pale scales as something slipped deeper into the metal frame. The air felt thicker, the woods alive and deeply, dangerously quiet. When they peeled out onto the main road again, Jasper swore he heard a far-off clinking, perhaps bottles or chains or the echo of old feuds. White Lightning Road gave its final warning as they turned away, sharp curves, hidden histories, and that patient snake somewhere in the steel. Nobody could say whether the worst ghost here was a bootlegger, a lawman, or something slicker and older waiting under the next storm. Later, alone in her quiet house with nothing but a distant frog chorus for company, Tasha sat on her bed and thumbed through the photos she'd snapped during their midnight drive. Most were just out-of-focus shots, silhouettes of twisted trees, blurry streaks of license plate light, the sullen cage of that steel tower faded by years of storms. But one frame made her blood run cold. It was the shot of the tower, flash catching the mist, shadows pressed deep into the iron lattice. Staring closer, Tasha saw a pale, arched shape coiled between the beams, a ridged pattern like scales, the suggestion of a massive jaw, eyes that looked glazed and cold even in the camera's blur. The snake legend wasn't just a tale now. It was there, stamped on her memory, ghostly proof in digital blue. As she studied the photo's haunted shapes and thought about the stories Jasper had told, the feuding families, the whiskey runners, lost souls pacing the hills, Tasha felt an icy shiver twist down her spine. It wasn't just about the snake. It was the road itself, its backbone built by bootlegger convicts shrouded in fog and crowned in legends. A place where any horror might slither out from the dark if you stopped long enough or didn't show respect. She thought about the old warnings she'd heard all her life. Don't pull off White Lightning Road at night. Don't linger near the old tower, no matter what you hear on the wind. And above all, keep your eyes forward on the curves. Because whether it's a snake, a lost moonshiner, or something that's always been there on the devil's backbone, this road remembers everyone who travels it late, and not all legends are eager to stay buried. and in the years that followed, Tasha always offered the same warning to anyone talking about taking the drive after dark. There are things older than the pavement on that road, things best left undisturbed. If you catch a ripple at the edge of your headlights or hear metal groan in the fog, don't stop, don't stare, and never ever go searching for what coils in the shadows. Some secrets on White Lightning Road are true, and some are waiting for you to become just another legend whispered on the wind.